Picture this. You're at your neighborhood gym, feeling proud as you watch other 60-somethings sweating through the same high-energy classes you remember from decades ago. Everyone's smiling, everyone's moving, everyone seems so healthy. But what if I told you that beneath all that enthusiasm, something troubling is happening that most of us never see coming? As a wellness educator who's worked with thousands of active seniors, I've noticed a disturbing pattern. The very fitness trends that promise to turn back the clock might actually be putting unnecessary stress on the one organ that's been faithfully serving you for over 6 decades: your heart. Here's the reality check. Your heart at 65 isn't the same heart you had at 35, and that's perfectly normal. But the exercise industry often forgets this simple truth. Today, I'm sharing 5 popular workout habits that could be working against your heart's natural aging process, along with gentle alternatives that actually support long-term vitality. If you're ready to exercise smarter, not harder, please subscribe and let me know in the comments. What's your current favorite way to stay active? Let's start with the biggest misconception that's everywhere in senior fitness. 1. The fountain of youth trap. Walk into any American fitness center today, and you'll see something that would have been unthinkable 30 years ago. 70-year-olds doing burpees, 65-year-olds lifting weights that would challenge someone half their age. Grandmothers sweating through boot camp classes designed for military recruits. It's inspiring, right? But here's what nobody's talking about. This age is just a number mentality might be putting your most vital organ at serious risk. The fitness industry has sold us a beautiful lie. They've convinced us that if we just push hard enough, sweat enough, and ignore the whispers our bodies are sending us, we can somehow reverse the hands of time. High-intensity interval training has become the holy grail of senior fitness. CrossFit gyms are opening silver programs. Everyone's chasing that mythical fountain of youth through maximum effort. But your heart didn't get the memo about this anti-aging revolution. According to recent research from the Mayo Clinic, adults over 60 who engage in high-intensity exercise without proper heart rate monitoring show a 40% higher risk of cardiovascular episodes compared to those following age-appropriate guidelines. That's not a small number. That's nearly half of us potentially putting ourselves in danger. Here's what happens when we exercise like we're 30 again. Our aging hearts, which have been faithfully beating for 6 or 7 decades, suddenly get bombarded with demands they're no longer equipped to handle. Blood pressure spikes, electrical rhythms become erratic, oxygen delivery struggles to keep up. The tragic irony: we're doing this because we love our bodies and want to stay healthy. But sometimes love means knowing when to be gentle. So what's the alternative? It's called heart rate zone training, and it's specifically designed for hearts that have earned some respect. Instead of pushing to exhaustion, you calculate your optimal heart rate range. Take 2 and 20, subtract your age, then aim for 50 to 70% of that number during cardio. For a 65-year-old, that's roughly 77 to 108 beats per minute. Gentle, sustainable, effective. The truth is, your heart doesn't need to be shocked into submission. It needs to be coaxed into cooperation. Think of it this way. You wouldn't drive your car at maximum RPM every day and expect it to last, would you? Your heart deserves the same consideration. But here's what's even more concerning. Even when seniors realize that gentler cardio might be smarter, they often make a completely different mistake that's just as dangerous. They head straight to the weight room, convinced that building muscle will somehow compensate for their cardiovascular caution. But there's an even more dangerous myth hiding in America's most popular senior fitness trend. 2. The strength training deception. Robert was a retired high school teacher from Grand Rapids, Michigan. At 72, he was determined not to become what he called one of those frail old men. So 3 times a week, he'd drive to Planet Fitness and load up the leg press machine with as much weight as he could handle. "Use it or lose it," he'd grunt between sets, channeling the football coach he used to be. Then came the day his wife found him sitting on the gym floor, pale and confused. His blood pressure so high the EMTs couldn't get an accurate reading. Robert had fallen into what I call the strength training deception. This uniquely American belief that more weight equals more health, especially for seniors who grew up in the no pain, no gain era. But here's what Robert and millions of other well-meaning seniors don't understand. Heavy resistance training creates something called the Valsalva effect. When you strain against significant weight, you naturally hold your breath and bear down. This dramatically increases pressure in your chest and abdomen, which then squeezes your heart from all directions. For younger people, this pressure spike is temporary and manageable. For seniors, especially those with any degree of arterial stiffness or undiagnosed heart conditions, it can be the straw that breaks the camel's back. The National Institute on Aging published findings in 2023 showing that seniors who perform traditional weight training without proper breathing techniques and load management show increased incidence of cardiovascular stress markers compared to those following modified protocols. But here's the good news. You don't have to choose between strength and safety. Enter the world of functional strength training. Instead of isolating muscles with heavy machines, you train movements that actually matter in daily life. Resistance bands provide variable tension that's gentler on joints and cardiovascular system. Bodyweight exercises like modified push-ups against a wall or chair-assisted squats build real-world strength without dangerous pressure spikes. Robert discovered this after his health scare. His doctor referred him to a senior-specific trainer who introduced him to Tai Chi. Today, at 74, Robert moves with more grace and confidence than he had in his heavy lifting days. His balance improved, his blood pressure stabilized. Most importantly, his fear of frailty transformed into appreciation for his body's wisdom. The secret isn't lifting heavier, it's moving smarter. Functional strength training focuses on exercises that help you carry groceries, get up from chairs, climb stairs, and maintain independence. These movements work with your body's natural patterns instead of against them. Your muscles want to be strong. Your heart wants to be steady. The key is finding exercises that honor both. Yet even when we choose gentler exercises, there's still one environmental factor most seniors completely overlook. 3. Weather warriors, when nature becomes the enemy. Dorothy had been walking the same desert path in Scottsdale, Arizona for 15 years. Every morning at 7 a.m., rain or shine, heat or cold, she'd lace up her sneakers and head out for her 3-mile loop. It was her meditation, her routine, her non-negotiable commitment to health. Then came that blazing July morning when the temperature hit 115 degrees by 8 a.m. Dorothy, determined not to break her streak, headed out anyway. 2 miles in, her vision started to blur. Her heart was racing, but not from exertion. She was experiencing heat exhaustion, and at 71, her body's cooling system simply couldn't keep up. This is the weather warrior trap that catches thousands of dedicated seniors every year across America. From Florida's oppressive humidity to Minnesota's bone-chilling winters, our climate extremes can turn healthy exercise into a cardiac emergency. Here's what happens to your heart when you exercise in extreme temperatures. In blazing heat, your blood vessels dilate to help cool your body, but this drops your blood pressure and forces your heart to pump faster to maintain circulation. Dehydration compounds the problem, thickening your blood and making every heartbeat more labored. Cold weather presents the opposite but equally dangerous challenge. When temperatures drop below 50 degrees, your blood vessels constrict to preserve core body heat. This immediately raises your blood pressure and increases the workload on your heart. According to the American Heart Association's 2024 guidelines, seniors should avoid outdoor exercise when temperatures fall below 40 degrees or rise above 80 degrees. But here's the beautiful thing about living in modern America. We have options our grandparents never had. Mall walking has become a phenomenon for good reason. Climate-controlled environments, level surfaces, and built-in social interaction. Many malls open early specifically for senior walkers. Community centers across the country offer indoor pools maintained at heart-friendly temperatures year-round. The YMCA and many local recreation departments have senior-specific programs that adjust activities based on weather conditions. Dorothy discovered this after her heat scare. She joined the early morning Desert Walkers group at her local community center. They meet at 6 a.m. in air-conditioned comfort, walk on cushioned indoor tracks, and then enjoy coffee and conversation. She gets her exercise, her social connection, and her safety all in one package. The key is seasonal adaptation. Summer in Phoenix means indoor activities or very early morning pool exercise. Winter in Buffalo means embracing mall walking or joining a senior fitness class. Spring and fall become your outdoor seasons to be treasured and fully enjoyed. Your heart doesn't care where you exercise. It only cares that you're safe while doing it. But even in perfect weather conditions, there's one timing mistake that turns healthy exercise into a heart hazard. 4. The rhythm disruptors. Jim was a creature of habit. For 40 years as a firefighter in Houston, Texas, he'd maintained his fitness with late-night workouts after his shifts ended. Even in retirement at 69, he kept the same schedule. Dinner at 6, evening news, then down to his garage gym for an hour of exercise before bed. What Jim didn't realize was that his well-intentioned routine was creating a perfect storm for cardiovascular disruption. Late-night exercise affects your heart in two dangerous ways. First, it elevates your core body temperature and stress hormones right when your body is trying to wind down for restorative sleep. Second, it disrupts your circadian rhythm, which directly impacts heart rate variability and blood pressure regulation. But timing isn't the only rhythm disruptor that catches seniors off guard. Many of us, eager to recapture our youthful energy, gravitate toward exercises that involve jumping, quick direction changes, or rapid movements. Jumping jacks, dance aerobics, tennis, even vigorous pickleball can create sudden spikes in blood pressure and challenge our balance systems in ways our aging bodies struggle to handle. Here's what's happening inside your body during these jarring movements. Your nervous system, which isn't as quick to respond as it once was, gets overwhelmed trying to coordinate balance, blood flow, and muscle responses simultaneously. Your heart rate can spike irregularly, not from healthy exertion, but from the stress of trying to keep up with demands that change too quickly. The solution isn't to become sedentary. It's to embrace what researchers now call exercise timing optimization. Your heart follows natural rhythms. Morning cortisol levels are optimal for gentle movement. Your body temperature is naturally lower, your joints are more supple after a good night's sleep, and your circadian rhythm actually supports moderate activity in the early part of the day. Jim discovered this when his doctor suggested he try morning water aerobics at the local aquatic center. The resistance of water provides excellent strength training without jarring impacts. The social environment energized him in ways his solitary garage workouts never had. Most importantly, His sleep quality improved dramatically once he stopped stimulating his nervous system right before bed. Water exercise has become the secret weapon of smart senior fitness. The buoyancy reduces stress on joints while providing natural resistance. The cooling effect prevents overheating. The gentle, flowing movements support cardiovascular health without shocking the system. Whether it's water aerobics, morning Tai Chi in the park, or gentle yoga classes, the key is choosing activities that work with your body's natural rhythms instead of fighting against them. Your heart has been keeping perfect time for decades. The least we can do is respect its rhythm. Now that we've uncovered these hidden dangers, let me share the one simple shift that can transform your entire approach to fitness after 60. 5. The gentle revolution. Susan was 74 when she walked into my wellness workshop in Portland, Oregon. She was terrified. After a mild heart episode 6 months earlier, her doctor had told her she needed to exercise, but every fitness option seemed designed for people half her age or twice her courage. "I used to love being active," she whispered to me after the session, "but now I'm afraid I'll hurt myself no matter what I do." Susan's fear is shared by millions of American seniors who find themselves caught between the need to stay active and the terror of doing damage. But what if I told you there's a completely different way to think about fitness after 60? One that's not about fighting your age, but dancing with your wisdom? Let me introduce you to what I call the 3-2-1 rule for sustainable senior fitness. 3 days of gentle cardio, 2 days of functional strength, and 1 day of complete rest. This isn't about maximum effort. It's about maximum consistency. Gentle cardio might be a 20-minute walk around your neighborhood, swimming laps at a comfortable pace, or even dancing to your favorite oldies in your living room. The goal isn't to get breathless. It's to get your blood flowing and your spirits lifted. Functional strength training focuses on movements that help you live better. Chair exercises that help you stand up with confidence. Resistance band workouts that strengthen your core without straining your back. Wall push-ups that build upper body strength without overwhelming your cardiovascular system. And that 1 day of complete rest? It's not laziness, it's wisdom. Your heart, your muscles, and your spirit all need time to recover and rebuild. Susan embraced this approach and discovered something beautiful. When she stopped trying to prove she was still young, she started feeling truly vibrant. She joined the Silver Sneakers program at her local YMCA, where classes are specifically designed for seniors. She learned chair yoga, which helped her flexibility without challenging her balance. She started water walking with a group of friends who became her accountability partners and her social circle. 6 months later, Susan's confidence had returned, along with her strength and her joy in movement. Her doctor was thrilled with her improved cardiovascular health. But most importantly, Susan was no longer afraid. This is the gentle revolution happening in senior fitness across America. Community centers, YMCAs, and senior centers are embracing age-appropriate programs that prioritize safety and sustainability over intensity. Online platforms offer chair-based workouts and gentle movement classes designed specifically for older adults. Your body doesn't need to be conquered. It needs to be celebrated. Every step you take, every stretch you complete, every day you choose movement over fear is a victory worth honoring. If your heart could write you a letter, I think it would say something like this: "Thank you for all these years of life. Thank you for every adventure, every challenge, every moment of joy and sorrow we've shared together. I've been with you through it all, beating steadily, faithfully, without asking for much in return. Now, as we enter this new chapter together, I don't need you to prove how young you are. I need you to honor how wise you've become. Choose movement that feels like a gift, not a punishment. Listen when I whisper before I have to shout. Remember that the goal isn't to live like you're 30 again. It's to live fully, joyfully, and safely as exactly who you are today. Exercise after 60 isn't about fighting aging. It's about dancing with wisdom. Share your favorite gentle exercise in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for next week's video. 5 heart-happy workouts you can do in your living room. Your heart will thank you.